I've said it before, but one of the things that is really sweet about doing this job is that in looking at the feedback the show gets, it's overwhelmingly positive. And a lot of online spaces are just toxic and gross. And so when I started doing this, I was expecting, all right, there's going to be just constant terrible stuff. And I'm going to have to not make that my identity. And then as the audience has grown, there's just a really positive group of people out there. So thank you to all of you. But the fact that it has grown and we're in an election season and things are heated means even our little space is not immune to the hate. And every once in a while, Jaden puts together a presentation, a Google Slides presentation of some of the angry Trump supporters who have written in or DM'd or whatever it might be. And I react to them for the first time here for all of you. So it's time again for the haters to be heard. Very rarely do we give them the energy or time, but today we will. Let's start with this. Someone said, wow, what a loser you are, barfy face. You just a crybaby with empty brain. I'm sure in high school, no boy wanted to hang out with you. That's why you'll become what you are now. You hang with girls and played with Barbies. What a waste. Barfy face. Barf face. Is it barfy? I don't know why I'm saying barfy. Barfy face, barfy face, barfy face. Yeah, so I do have lots of women friends in my life and also a lot of men friends. I'm very lucky. I have very great people. And interestingly, two of the people who work for the show are lifelong best friends, and they're both men. And then we have one woman employee. And then you have this. Jane didn't blur out this swear word, but who cares? Hey, I saw your video, Luke. You're an effing idiot. Okay. Then someone said, you need to find another line of work. You are clearly a one-sided Democrat who has an agenda to support the destruction of our country. This is something interesting that people will say, wow, you must want to destroy the country. And it's like, there are some malicious people out there. Are you actually telling me when you tune into the show, which I'm sure they don't do a lot, but maybe they consistently hate watch, you see me talking about things, you see the passion I have for this stuff, and your genuine thought is, Luke Beasley, is an op to destroy the country. Obviously, we may disagree. Clearly, with this person, we do. But maybe we're both trying to do what we think is best for the country and disagree. Then someone said, lol, you're an example of a cuck. Laughy face, laughy face. Okay. Interesting. Then someone said, and Jaden told me these gray boxes are for the anti-gay F-slur. So they said, you're an anti-gay F-slur, but good luck. So some mixtures of vibes there. Then someone said, I'm genuinely curious how you can be supportive of the left that so openly calls for tyranny. I don't even know what they're thinking of with this. And so often I like to say, I don't think Trump supporters want tyranny. But if you're going to accuse me of that, it's interesting given that actually it's your guy who's argued for something that would be the closest. Very different, to be clear. But to the closest, if you want to say that term, Trump talking about overturning our Constitution, a massive fraud type magnitude laws for the termination of all rules, regulations, and articles, even those found in the Constitution, saying that he, as an individual, should have had the power to terminate the Constitution because he believed the election was unfair to keep himself in office. The type of militarized language that he'll use about what he wants to do. In a second term, the enemy from within should be dealt with the military. Him talking about how he has absolute power as president and wants absolute immunity. Those things would promote tyranny for sure. I don't know how lowering prescription drug costs or investing in infrastructure would do that. And then another person really on the, maybe this is an extension of the last person. So they said, ha 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 ha. You're an effing cuck. Just remember, F nuts. Your liberal governor shut this country down. Do some testosterone, you effing squeaky voices F. A lot of people have taken note of this when you read hate messages, but I'm curious if you're sitting behind your computer or on your phone and you're typing this and you're getting ready to send it, what do you think the person who you're sending it to is going to do about this? Or what do you think, how do you think it's going to affect them? Surely, as the sender, you're able to process the idea that probably someone like me would just look at this and go, huh, clearly if I'm willing to put out the content that we do, I'm comfortable enough with the sound of my voice and with the general appearance, some days better than others, to do that, and saying this isn't going to push me off the air. Someone, we have Stray that's hitting Harry Sisson, friend of the show, but they said, are you another POS like Harry Sisson? Yes, you can categorize me as having the character of Harry Sisson from what I know about him, and I don't find that to be POS character. Then someone said, I see you're still just cherry picking conversations and voters like the rest of the media and can't post competent people on Trump's end, and you're a weasel. This is a huge criticism. Oh, you're straw manning. You only ever show the ridiculous Trump supporters. Show the ones who can substantively talk about policy. And then I talk with and confront and show clips of me talking with Vivek Ramaswamy briefly. Who was the other Republican congresswoman? Now I'm blanking on who it was, but obviously Lindsey Graham didn't want to talk about the border security bill in the spin room, or Laura Loomer, who's a famous MAGA celebrity. If you're saying the celebrities and the politicians in your movement also can't come off reasonable, and it's only you who could do it, maybe you actually have an incorrect perception of yourself. And maybe the reason it comes off like y'all aren't level-headed talking about policy is because you aren't. Someone said, you're a dumb ass. Okay. Another, you're a weird F slur. And that's it. That's a beautiful ending to a beautiful story. So that's the word, or I mean, aside from, like I said, I don't find it interesting to give any attention to like the actual threats or anything like that. But of the negative ones that aren't that far, aren't death related, this category is just sort of, it's a small percentage, by the way, as I said before, but it's just, what are you going to get out of this? Which is why I'm so grateful. Jaden, a man friend of mine, see, I don't just play with Barbies, is able to sift through and do this once in a while. I just think it's sort of fun, but he does a really good job of not forcing me on a daily basis to have to come across this sort of type stuff. And when I do go through, for example, like YouTube comments or DMs generally, it's just, even people who disagree mostly are being thoughtful, which is crazy because that's not usually the case in online, especially political media. And then I have people in my personal life who are conservatives who will write to me, text me, and say whatever it might be about a segment I did they disagree with, but even they do it in such a reasonable, level-headed, productive way. And so I always emphasize that because, first of all, it gives me hope about what we're doing here, how I'm constructing the show, and it gives me hope about all of you who watch and support it. But then also, it gives me hope for where we could get. And we're actually working on a show where I'm going to be sitting and covering stories with someone who is very much different than me politically. And it will be lots of arguments and all those types of things. But I actually do think, regardless of how this election goes, a future where we're able to get back to more rational disagreements is possible. But yes, that necessitates ignoring the hateful nonsense of some people like this. some of these folks, no matter what I presented to them, what policies I laid out for them, they're just going to think, I want to destroy the country. I'm satanic or whatever. And a productive conversation is not possible there. But there's a lot of people who may even have voted for Trump or might be voting for Trump, which is a product of their information environment and not their core values. And when I'm having a good day, I can really feel that. And I can really feel hopeful about a better future with better political discourse. But it takes us doing it. And it's why, I mean, you witness this all on the show, where I have good days and bad days, more aggressive days and more unifying days. I'm a person. But I think what I at least strive to do is discuss these issues in a way that serves as some guideline for all of you, if you're interested, to bring those sorts of discussions to people you disagree with and maybe find something productive. Let me know what you thought of the hate that's been sent in. Thank you all so much, as you do on all these videos, for refuting these things. Luke's not a cuck. He's not a weasel. And all the sweet things that you all write in. On the bonus show, which you can get access to by clicking the join button below, we'll often go through, not often, but occasionally go through general feedback. And in that, a lot of positive stuff. And I respond to just general sentiment that is usually positive, which I appreciate. So know that that's being seen and heard as well. It's not just the mean stuff that gets seen. And again, so much appreciation. And yeah, if you're not a member yet, you should become one.